Welcome back to Movies TV Mad. You can follow me on Twitter at Movies TV Mad. And welcome to Friday's show. This is the beginning of a very exciting weekend, and we're going to focus on the updates from San Diego Comic-Con through the next 3 or 4 days, mainly focusing on DC live action. But if I've got the time, I will update Marvel fans and other fans of movies and television if I can. But this channel's focus will be DC live action. On today's show, we will discuss Jim Lee's very interesting comments that there are no plans to restore the Snyderverse. We will read out what he had to say, and by the time I finish, Snyder fans won't be as down or depressed about what I have to say, because this channel is about context, not just the clickbait articles and headlines. It's about giving you the meat on the bones, and I'll certainly do that. On the second part of the show, I will tell you that the fight to bring Henry Cavill back as Superman in the DCEU and the fight to restore the Snyderverse are two very different things, because people on the internet, especially Twitter, saying there's no Henry Cavill Superman without Zack Snyder. I couldn't agree less, and you all know that I'm a fan and a supporter of Restore the Snyderverse. So let's have a look what Jim Lee had to say, because San Diego Comic-Con has already started. There's been panels, and Jim Lee has been part of one already. So this is what Jim had to say. By the way, Jim's comments don't make me dislike him. Jim Lee has been an artist for Marvel and DC throughout his long, illustrious career, and I don't see any mileage in being toxic about him, but I will be honest about his position and whose side of this he's on. You know what's amazing is we spent 2 years in lockdown, and here we are back at a convention celebrating the art form, feeling good. I work on the projects that are in development, right? I think the Snyder Cut was Zack's vision realised, and it was a really satisfying story told. But there's no plans for additional work on the material. I was happy to help contribute to the pitch for the other stuff, and it kind of was, fun to see that stuff get out there, because I did that years ago. I actually thought it had been erased, but they had kept it in storage. So, first of all, we have to ask the question, is he saying he has no plans to do more artwork for the Snyderverse and that's not in development? Or is he saying it's not in development, full stop? Well, this quote doesn't really make that clear. But let's not kind of cut the edges of the broccoli. Let's be direct here, and let's explain the situation honestly and directly to you. I am an Iron Apple reality star. I'm developing the first English-speaking dramas here on Cypriot TV, and I write, produce and direct and star in my own plays here in theatre in Cyprus. I do have a shoe-in the entertainment industry. You wouldn't think so by the low subs and views I get on this channel, but I know what is going on, and I understand how Warner Brothers works. There is Warner Brothers Pictures, which is run by Toby Emmerich. He has been fired. He will leave in September. That's when everything changes. So Warner Brothers Pictures is run by Toby Emmerich. Jim Lee is in charge of everything DC, and Walter Hamada is the president of DC Films. This is the side of the company that hate Henry Cavill, that hate Zack Snyder, and the only reason Jim Lee helped with the stuff with the Snyderverse is because, HBO Max were going to make a lot of money. They had no plans, and they had to go to Zack out of desperation. And we know the history of this, and we know what happened. Yes, so this side of the company that hate Zack, that hate Henry, that hate the Snyderverse, have no plans to restore the Snyderverse. But that's not the side that matters. Jim Lee doesn't matter. Toby Emmerich does not matter. And Walter Hamada certainly doesn't matter. Walter Hamada and Jim Lee and Toby Emmerich wanted to replace Henry Cavill's Superman with a Superman of colour to play our beloved OG Superman, when there's already two wonderful Supermen of colour in the comics. They could have adapted utterly racist, utterly toxic, if you ask me. But not only that, they wanted to replace Henry's Superman with Supergirl, starting with the Flash movie. Henry isn't in that movie. Right now, they haven't got a release date for Batgirl, and basically the Flash movie is very close to being cancelled for good. That's the information I can bring you today. So that side of it, don't want to restore the Snyderverse. But I've got some excellent news for you that you already know, but some of you need it clarifying. From September, Toby Emmerich will no longer be the chairman of Warner Brothers Pictures Group. Jim Lee will no longer be in charge of the entirety of DC, and Walter Hamada will no longer be the chairman of Warner Brothers Pictures Group. That's going to change. There is going to be, from September, an announcement for a DC Studios and a brand new president of DC Studios. These entities and these names I've already said, will have nothing to do with this. So, Warner Brother Pictures Group have no interest in restoring the Snyderverse. But David Zaslav and the newly merged Warner Brothers Discovery have every intention of restoring the Snyderverse, and they're who matter. David Zaslav has already brought in 2 new leaders for a brand new Warner Brothers Discovery's Pictures Group. They will replace Toby Emmerich, and they have already been instructed to restore the Snyderverse. So they want to restore the Snyderverse. So no, I repeat, Jim Lee, Warner Brothers Pictures Group, Toby Emmerich, Walter Hamada have no intention of restoring the Snyderverse, but they're going to lose their jobs in September. And I've already had some backlash on Twitter about this. No, they'll never remove Jim Lee. Yes, they will. Jim Lee should be respected and will be respected and will always have a job over at DC Comics. But it won't be this job where he's in charge of the whole caboodle. That's gone. That's over. Other people will be in charge. DC Comics itself will be restructured. We will have a DC Studios for the animation and the live action, and things will change. The priority will be Superman. Yes, Henry Cavill's Superman will be one of the Supermen that will take priority. Gal Gadot's Wonder Woman, if she remains there and she wants to remain as Wonder Woman, will be the priority, and Batman will be the priority. David Zaslav said this a long time before the merger was official. So that's the situation, right? To be absolutely clear, Warner Brothers Discovery will be restoring the Snyderverse. That's the priority. So it doesn't really matter what Jim Lee has to say. It's a very dramatic statement, an unclear statement, by the way. So right now, there's nothing in development. It's not official. You've noticed that David Zaslav and Warner Brothers Discovery are very quiet. They will remain quiet till September, and Toby Emmerich is removed as chairman of Warner Brothers Pictures Group, right? Once they're gone, because it's respectful, it's a handover, that's what's going on now. Once they're gone, Zaslav's people come in, and you will see these huge changes. Huge changes, by the way, I already know about. I ain't talking through my rear end, unlike some people on the net. I know what I'm talking about, and I'll repeat to you what I've done from the day I launched this channel. Just because I don't have the subscribers, just because I'm not famous globally, right? Just because I don't have the views and likes, it doesn't mean I'm not connected. But if you don't want to believe I'm connected, it's your lookout. If you don't subscribe to this channel when you see this video, it's your lookout. Ask the people, ask my loyal subscribers, how many times I've been right and wrong, right? And nobody believes the shit, right, that I've said. Let me tell you the stuff I've broken. I broke the news about the Flash movie and Aquaman being delayed. I told you it had nothing to do with VFX, and there was something suspicious going on. I knew about Ezra Miller. I knew that David Zaslav delayed those movies purposely. The Flash was delayed. He was not happy with that movie and the deletion of Henry Cavill's Superman. As we've heard a couple of days ago, Henry Cavill will, in some context, be at San Diego Comic-Con, either via feed or he'll be there in the flesh to explain his Superman future. I believe it's for him to promote his role in Black Adam and Shazam! Fury of the Gods. This is just the beginning. So right now there's a Flash movie where Henry's not involved with and he gets deleted. These things are about to change. So I hope that you understand what's going on here. What Jim Lee and Warner Brothers Pictures say is irrelevant. David Zaslav and Discovery are running this show and they will restore the Snyderverse. Now for the second part of the show. Ever since the Henry Cavill rumours come out that he's got some involvement with this weekend's San Diego Comic-Con, really exciting, right? And I'm really hyped for me to cover this weekend, especially for DC live action. But people are saying that there's no Cavill return without Zack Snyder being involved. I couldn't agree less. Because at the end of the day, there's two separate fights here. The fight to restore the Snyderverse and the fight to bring back Henry Cavill. The DCEU, the DC Extended Universe, or whatever it's going to be called going forward, needs a fucking Superman. If you think Superman isn't relatable, check out the ratings for George Reeves' Superman TV show. Check out the box office for Superman and Superman 2 and Superman 3. Right? Check out the box office. Check out the excitement for Man of Steel and BVS and his role in Zack Snyder's Justice League. And see the fucking trends and interactions when it was rumoured and leaked by Deadline the other day that Henry would appear in some form and talk about his Superman future in the DCEU this weekend at San Diego. And you tell me this character isn't relevant. And David Zaslav knows this. That's the most important situation. Imagine having a situation within the DCEU where you're going to delete Superman and replace him with Supergirl, right? And not have a Superman in the DCEU. Think about that. Jim Lee, Walter Hamada, Toby Emmerich wanted to do that. That, my friends, is the reason that anything they say is irrelevant. So they can tell you there's no plans to have a Plastic Man and it doesn't really fucking matter. Although they did have some plans, I don't know what happened there. There's a lot of plans at this side of the company and studio have had, and they've reached no fruition. They're in so much trouble now. Of course they've got to bring Henry Cavill out. This is how powerful Superman is. And think about this, everyone. You know, Marvel fans and MCU fans always say to me, we got better box office than the DCEU, we're a better comic book company, blah, blah, blah. If that's the case, if your cinematic universe is so strong, why is it all it took for your foundations to be cracked was rumours of our Superman attending San Diego Comic-Con? So, the most important thing right now is to get Henry back as Superman. And then in September, when Emmerich is gone, David Zaslav will deal with restoring the Snyderverse and making those DC Studios announcements. We're going to get everything. We're going to get an accurate comic book universe, right? Which will make the comic book fans happy. We're going to restore the Snyderverse. But first and foremost, the most important character ever, anywhere, is Superman. And he's coming back. And I'm sure of it, going to play some kind of role this weekend at San Diego Comic-Con. And that's so important. The rest of it will take care of itself. So there's no need to get into any battles with Jim Lee. Jim Lee's a nice man. I've met him before. Really cool dude. Don't attack him. You know, he is part of the Warner Brothers Pictures side. That's regrettable. But he's always got along with Zack Snyder. So, you know, and their plans for the DC Extended Universe within the Flash movie, right? Their changes are not going to happen now. Things are going to move very quickly from September when Toby Emmerich is gone. So there's no need to panic. So that's right, Jim. You and Warner Brothers Pictures, you lot who are going to basically get other jobs from September, have no plans to develop the Snyderverse and restore the Snyderverse. Of course you haven't, because you never wanted to do that. That's why you're being removed. You have ruined DC, all of you. You have made a mockery of it ever since Zack Snyder has gone. You haven't succeeded. You've had one or two successes, as David Zaslav has said to you, but there is no kind of, there's just no excitement there, right? Now, in terms of Black Adam, there's a lot of excitement and it's a great movie, so well done, Walter Hamada, but you really had nothing to do with that movie, right? Let's be honest about it. It was The Rock and his people and his director and his production company and his ex-wife who put all that together. So you can't even take credit for that. So we are going to get everything we want, but it takes patience. My God, this weekend, Superman will return. This has been Movies TV Mad with me, Mick, your host with the most. Just ask your girlfriends and your wives. Please like, share, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you never miss this beautiful perfection. And I will see you again throughout this weekend. And I will be exclusively covering San Diego Comic-Con. You will not miss a beat. Until we see each other again, goodbye, au revoir, auf Wiedersehen.